Hello students, today we are going to study about the remaining part of the seed. So a monocotyledonous seed has following parts. What are those? Seed coat, endosperm, alluron layer, cotyledon, etc. Let us draw a figure. Okay. I'm drawing it in a curved way. We have covered it. Now leave this one. Let us leave this one. Okay, here we have the endosperm. This one is scutellum. This one is coleorrhea. Here we have radicle. These are premules here, and this is coleoptile. This one is pericarp. And here we have the endosperm. So endosperm, pericarp, scutellum, coleorrhea, radicle, primule, coleoptile. So seed coat, it is fused with pericarp. Endosperm, it is the bulky part and it lies within a small embryo. Alluron layer, it is a special tissue and it surrounds the endosperm. Cotyledon, single cotyledon is known as scutellum. Scutellum. It's a scutellum. Scutellum. A scutellum comes in contact with endosperm through an epithelial layer. plumule. It is embryonic shoot. It is the embryonic shoot, and it is protected by, or it is covered by, protective layer of coleoptile. Now we have radical, embryonic root, and it is covered by protective layer of coleorrhea. So a monocotyledonous seed has following parts: seed coat, which is fused with pericarp. This is the pericarp. It is fused with pericarp. Endosperm, it is the bulky part that lies within a small embryo. Alluring layer, that is a special tissues. There are special tissues which surround the endosperm. Cotyledons, single cotyledon, only single monocotyledonous seed has single cotyledon. Single cotyledon is known as scutellum. It comes in contact with endosperm. It comes in contact with endosperm through an epithelial layer. Plumule, embryonic shoot. It covered by protective layer known as coleoptile. Radical, embryonic root, and it is covered by protective layer called coleorrhea. Now let us discuss about the important implications of seed. What are the important implications of seed? Let's discuss. It helps plant species, which species? Plant species, to be colonized. That means plant species form their colony because of seeds in different areas. It provides nourishment and protection to the young embryo. It provides nourishment and protection to the young embryo and results in variation. Due to seeds, there are variations, and due to variations, what happens? New genetic combinations occur. New genetic combinations occur, and they are long-term viable. So long-term viability of most of these seeds found. So helps plant species to be colonized in different areas, provides nourishment and protection to the young embryo, results in variations with the new genetic combinations, and long-term viability of most of these seeds found. So let's discuss a new term called apomixis. What is apomixis? So it is a mechanism. What is apomixis? It is a mechanism to what? To produce seeds, but without fertilization. So producing seeds without fertilization is known as apomixis. And this mechanism produces clones. So it can be considered a form of a sexual reproduction which mimics sexual reproduction. So it can occur, apomixis can occur in a number of ways. Some of them are here. Nucellular cells What are they? They are diploid. Unicellular cells are diploid, and they are located outside embryo sac. What happens to them? They divide continuously. They divide continuously and enter the embryo sac. After continuous division, they enter the embryo sac and later develop into embryos. In this way, what happens? Multiple embryos can exist inside one seed. Multiple embryos can exist inside one seed, which is known as polyembryony, and this process is known as polyembryony. So nucellular cells, which are diploid, are located outside the embryo sac. They divide continuously, enter embryo sac, and later develop into embryos. Hence, multiple embryos can be formed inside one seed, and this phenomena is known as polyembryony. Sometimes cell is not formed due to reduction division. If it is not formed due to reduction division, that means it will remain diploid. This diploid egg cell, what does it do? It later on directly develops into an embryo. This diploid cell later directly develops into an embryo. So apomixis. So this sometimes it so happens that egg cell is not formed as a result of reduction division, hence it is diploid. This diploid egg cell directly develops into an embryo. So apomixis is extremely useful these days. There are various regions attached to it. So apomixis is quite useful these days. How? New hybrids are produced. Disease-free plants are produced. Third, it is cost effective. In less costs, production can be done. So, economic importance of apomixis: new hybrids can be produced, disease-free plants can be produced, and it is cost effective. Now, what is the difference between true fruits and false fruits? True fruits develop from ovary, while false fruit develops from other body parts, mainly thalamus, as seen in the case of apple, strawberry, cashew nut, etc. So true fruits, they develop from ovary. False fruit, they do not develop from ovary. Some fruits develop from thalamus, such as apple, strawberry, cashew. In some fruits, what happens? Some fruits develop but without fertilization. Such fruits are known as parthenocarpic fruits, and the example is banana. So true fruits which develop from ovary. False fruits are those which do not develop from ovary. So there are certain fruits which develop from thalamus. They are apple, strawberry, cashew, etc. In some species, fruits develop without fertilization. Fertilization not required in some species. So fruits develop without fertilization. Such kind of fruits are known as parthenocarpic fruits, and the example is banana. So we have come to the end of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So subscribe my channel if you haven't done so, and do like and share my videos.